What's up, YouTube? I'm Corey, this is Offbeat Motors, and today we're going to discuss why I decided to purchase the 2018 Dodge Challenger RT Shaker over, say, the Mustang GT or a Camaro SS. So let's get to it. Alright, so right off the bat, I just want to simply say that I have absolutely nothing against the Mustang or the Camaro. I like both of those cars. I'm a true car guy, and what I mean by that is I like all types of cars. I like cheap cars, expensive cars, weird cars, supercars, muscle cars, imports. It doesn't matter. I like them all. A car is a car, unless it's, well, the Yugo's actually pretty cool. Never mind. But anyways, I did look at Mustangs. I did look at Camaros, but these are the four reasons why I did not go with them. First and foremost, ever since I was a kid, I've always been a Mopar kind of guy. I always had a fascination with Mopars, mainly because of the late 60s and early 70s Challengers, the Chargers, and the Barracudas, mainly. Nothing against the Mustangs and Tornados and the Chevelles and everything else of that era, but those Mopars were what really sucked me in. The 426 Hemis and all the packages and other packages, the six-pack and air grabbers and hoods and everything else. So it brought back that nostalgia for me from my childhood, which I've always kind of gravitated towards Mopar anyways. You know, we do have a 37 Plymouth. I've owned a couple Mopars myself, so it's something that's been near and dear to my heart, so that was one of the reasons. Number two, the space that's available inside this car compared to the Mustang and the Camaro. As a lot of you, if you've seen some of my other videos, a lot of you'll know I do have a 4-year-old who's just about to be 5, going into kindergarten soon. Man, those times fly by quickly. Enjoy them while you can. But anyways, I needed space for her. I live in Dallas, my parents live in Houston, so I take trips back and forth, and she needs to be able to ride in the car comfortably for long distances like that, so the Challenger fit that bill. The Mustang and the Camaro are just too cramped to have a seat back there for her, and by that I mean booster seat or car seat or whatever. It just wasn't going to be practical, so that was my number two. Number three, the styling of this Challenger. It kind of goes back to what I was talking about with the Mopars from the late 60s and early 70s. When they designed this new Challenger, Mopar, or Dodge in general, did a really good job at capturing the original essence of the Challenger and bringing it up to date into the modern times. I think they did a really good job at that, and that's what really captured my heart and soul. When I first saw this vehicle, I've always wanted it. Once they came out, I still want one of the older ones too, but when they re-released this particular one, I've wanted it ever since day one. So it's been a long time coming for me, and I finally did it. And the fact that I got the shaker hood was even better. It was even that much more nostalgic for me. So nothing to say anything bad about the Mustang styling or the Camaro styling. Those are both really good looking cars, and you can't go wrong with either one of them either. Unless you're a strict Chevy guy, then I guess you won't be buying a Mopar or a Ford, or vice versa. But anyways, and the fourth and final reason of why I chose this vehicle, a lot of times it's a driving force behind anything. It came down to price. The available rebates and incentives that I was able to get on this compared to the Mustang and the Camaro just made it more affordable. You know, it came down to that. I don't want to be car poor, and by that means I don't want to spend all my paycheck on a car. So I had a budget in mind that I wanted to stay with for a certain, car payment every month, and this it nailed it. It ticked off all the boxes. It's got all the features and stuff that I was looking for, and it came in at the price that I wanted. A Mustang would have been a little higher, and then obviously the Camaro would have been a little higher. It would have been nice to get either a Mustang or Camaro, mainly because of the fact that with those, their base engines create more horsepower than this 5.7, which is the base engine in the Challenger. Now, in order to compete with the horsepower of those cars, I would have had to upgrade to a Scat Pack and get the 392, which I didn't have the funds to do that. So, and to be honest with you, at the end of the day, I am perfectly happy with this choice, even though it's the slower of the cars. I love it. I got my stick shift, what I wanted. I got my navigation. I got the looks. I'm back in a Mopar. You know, I got the Hemi, which says a lot, just being a Hemi. I know you got all the LSs and the Coyote guys out there, and those are great motors as well, but the Hemi just does it for me. I love the sound of this thing, and it just really ticked all those boxes for me, and it brought me back to a point in my childhood when I had those Matchbox cars rolling around on the floor, you know, especially with the Challengers and the Barracudas. Be interesting to see if they ever come back out with the Barracuda. I know there's talks of it, so we'll see about that. But especially with like the Challengers and Chargers. And I think that's what the driving force behind a lot of us is. It's got to make you, you know, it's got to do something emotional for you. A car is, I've always said this, is an extension of your own personality, and it can't just be dull and boring. Unless you're dull and boring and that's what you like, obviously go for it. But it's an extension of your personality, and it says a lot about you. So it has to have that emotional connection. I know Dodge has their problems, and I overlook those. The fit and quality may not be the greatest, but let's be honest. No car is ever perfect, so there's always goods and bads, and you always have to compromise. And for me, the positives outweigh the negatives with this car, and it just makes me feel good. Every time I get in it, I just want to keep driving. I love it. So I'm sure, you know, eventually down the road I might end up owning a Mustang or a Camaro as well, but that's not going to be for quite a while. This one's going to be around, you know, a long time. So at least 4 years, because, well, that's how long the car note is on it. So really appreciate you guys stopping by, viewing the channel. Go ahead and give this video a like, comment away if you feel so pleased. Don't forget to share, don't forget to subscribe, and make sure you're following us over on Instagram, Offbeat Motors, and we've also just opened up a Twitter account, and that is also Offbeat Motors. I'll catch you guys next time around.